Tim Duncan. Years played 1998-2016. Teams: San Antonio Spurs. Career per game stats: 19.0 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3.0 assists, 0.7 steals, 2.2 blocks. Career advanced metrics: 24.2 per 55 TS%, 206.4 WS020 and WS48, 5908 75 TPA. In 2003-04, Kevin Garnett had the most impressive season we've ever seen from a power forward. You can make convincing arguments that Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Dirk Nowitzki, and perhaps even Bob Pettit had peaks at least comparable to Tim Duncan's best years. But the San Antonio Spurs mainstay elongated that peak throughout what was basically his entire post-Wake Forest basketball career, to the point that his early efforts and post-prime endeavors are almost indistinguishable in terms of value added. During his rookie season in 1997-98, Duncan averaged 21.1 points, 11.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 0.7 steals and 2.5 blocks while shooting 54.9% from the field. He earned 192 win shares per 48 minutes. 17 years later, Duncan posted 13.9 points, 9.1 rebounds, 3.0 assists, 0.8 steals and 2.0 blocks per game while shooting 51.2% from the field during his age 38 season. He didn't spend as much time on the court and focused more on defense than offense, but he still produced a whopping 0.207 win shares per 48 minutes. That longevity is what pushes him ahead of everyone else at the position. It remains a travesty that one of the greatest defensive presences in league history never held up the Defensive Player of the Year trophy, but that doesn't hold back Duncan's resume. He was still a consummate professional who excelled in nearly every facet of the game and turned the Spurs into a dynasty. Without him, San Antonio wouldn't have enjoyed a 21-year streak of postseason appearances, earned a handful of titles and become the ultimate model of consistency in professional basketball. Next up, Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, Karl Malone, Dirk Nowitzki. Biggest current challenger, Anthony Davis. Predicting that someone will eventually dethrone Duncan is foolish, if only because that requires so many fortuitous bounces and luck with injuries. A player can't only ascend to the top of the individual hierarchy, he must also sustain that level, or at least a comparable one, for nearly 2 decades. That's troubling for an up-and-comer like Anthony Davis, who has played remarkably well when healthy but has already struggled with some maladies during the early stages of his career. Even if he continues getting better and eventually leads the New Orleans Pelicans to the promised land, are we going to feel comfortable betting on him remaining near the top of the pack until 2030? Even if Davis kept replicating the 316.46 TPA he earned during the 2017-18 regular season and playoffs combined, he'd need another 15 seasons to move past Duncan's career tally. In other words, he'd have to play at the exact same level through the 2032-33 campaign, his age 39 season. And yet he's still the best choice here, since the other leading options at the 4 include players without lofty enough peaks: LaMarcus Aldridge, Draymond Green, Blake Griffin, Kevin Love, or lengthy enough resumes: Kristaps Porzingis, Lauri Markkanen, Jason Tatum, to reasonably factor into the conversation. Please like, subscribe and comment on the next video you want to see.